All We Imagine Is Light has been doing really well throughout the world. Even after the very recent Oscar snub, every reviewer seems to love it. And when I saw it in the first half, I felt the exact same way. But in the second half, something in the film changed. I noticed something that might just be a big problem. And that has to do with one simple thing: world building. See, the first act of any original film is used to create a world with a certain set of rules. That includes the tone, the mood, the shot taking, the color palette, everything that the audience can expect to see moving forward. The rules to your world can be as zany as you want them to be, which is why the characters in Fast and the Furious can go to space in a Pontiac Fiero. But those rules have to be upheld in the second and the third act. So to understand this, we need to see the world that Payal Kapadia has built. In the first half, we meet three characters: Prabha, Anu, and Parvati. All these three women are living in Mumbai, and Payal Kapadia has done a beautiful job in portraying an alienating and uncomfortable city. A city that feels like it can throw you out at any given moment. There is no life raft in this world and everybody is just on their own. But it's Prabha's problems and Prabha's conflicts that are given the most depth and the most time to. You see, Prabha has already gotten used to the monotony of Mumbai. What she's dealing with is a deep sense of loneliness. Prabha is married, but her husband works in Germany. And for the past 2 years, they have had essentially zero contact. Every day, Prabha is grappling with her husband's absence in this alienating city. This theme is metaphorically set up in the very first scene we have with Prabha, in which she helps an old woman who feels her husband's presence even after his death. This is the emotional conflict of the film. After the interval, one of the main characters, Parvati, decides that she is going to move back to her small village of Petha. Her time in Mumbai has come to an end. Prabha helps her friend out in the shifting process. And here is where the emotional conflict of the film is resolved. You see, in the small little town of Petha, Prabha coincidentally comes across a man on the beach who's drowning. Given that she's a nurse, she is able to bring him back to life. But Prabha realizes that this man has undergone memory loss. The man starts believing that he is Prabha's husband. And essentially role-playing her marital troubles with this man, Prabha is able to let go of all of the longing that she has for her husband. She's finally able to realize that she is enough on her own. On paper, the scene is deep, it's beautiful, it's moving. But when I saw it, all it felt to me was a little too easy. I mean, a chance encounter with a man who has undergone memory loss is able to solve all of the problems for our character. That is essentially right place, right time, right character, and right conversation. I mean, the scene was shot in such a dramatic fashion that if not memory loss, it could be magical realism, all in Prabha's head. And I don't know if that's better or worse. And that is where the world building aspect comes in. For a film that was so deeply rooted in realism up till this point, this conclusion feels a little overly dramatic. If you compare this sequence to the scene of Prabha intimately hugging the rice cooker, it just feels like two completely different films. And I think it's this world building and the set of expectations the movie gives you in the first half that makes the second half kind of falter, in my opinion. The world of All We Imagine had so many layers, but suddenly the film starts prioritizing drama over its substance everywhere. For example, Anu and Shiaz are two characters who are looking for privacy throughout the film. But when they have sex, it's in broad daylight. It feels like the decision was made only because sunlight would look better on camera. Even the ending has a similar problem. All of our characters are at this lonely beach shack, and in the background, the server starts dancing. It's a wholesome and beautiful moment, but the problem is it goes on for a little too long. And that again is overly dramatic. It's like the film wanted to tell a deep and grounded story for these characters, but their conclusions weren't given that much thought. From the lighting to the visuals to the acting to the background score, everything is top notch in All We Imagine Is Light. It's just the second half that it feels like it falters a little bit. But that is just one man's opinion. I may be entirely wrong. If you saw the film, did you notice any of these problems? Are these problems really even that big? Let me know what you thought in the comments. It's just a thought that came into my head and I had to talk about it. And with that, this was the dump of the week. If you're still watching, thank you so much. I am Siddharth Vasu and I will see you next time.